I want to start this video off by asking you a question. If you could play only one color in Magic the Gathering for the rest of your life, what would that one be? Okay, hold on to that, because the follow-up is then, why did you pick that color? Is it the way it plays, the aesthetics of the art, or some emotional connection to the themes of that color? Whatever the reason, you feel connected to that color in some way, which naturally leads us Magic fans to ask, what does my favorite color in Magic say about me? This shared curiosity has led many creators to provide their own take on answering this question. And personally, I've watched every video on the subject, and the answer usually goes a little something like this. If you play white, you need structure. If you like blue, you don't want other people to have fun. If you enjoy black, then you're a bit of an edgelord. If you main red, then you're impatient. And if you like green, then you're just a tree-hugging hippie. Now, while this is an obvious tongue-in-cheek oversimplification, the truth is that we have heard all the punchy one-liners that try and describe us based on the colors we play. But that never really sat right with me. How can we be confident in saying that our choice of color or colors to play can be so neatly summed up in these little slogans, each describing the millions of hobbyists who enjoy this game around the world? I mean, there has to be a deeper reason behind what colors we gravitate to, right? Like, what is it that draws us to our preferences, and what leads to those choices? The reality is that there actually is a significant explanation as to why you attach yourself to certain themes, aesthetics, and ways of playing. So what does your favorite color say about you? Well, a lot really. The truth is there is a real psychology behind our choices and preferences. Think about this from a wider context than just Magic the Gathering. Ask yourself why it is you like certain genres of music, movies, or video games. Why do you dress the way you do, or what dictates your preference in food even? While each of these preferences are different, they all ask the same root question, and the answer to that question will provide you insight into who you truly are and what shaped those unconscious decisions. Because yes, they are not active decisions on our part, but rather the result of many factors that build into our preferences and personality. I find the psychology behind choice and preference to be a fascinating thing. We make the assumption that each decision we make and each thing we like is its own conscious decision made at that moment. But the truth is a little bit more complicated than that. There are many theories in psychology that attempt to explain the root of our decisions and behaviors. For instance, Sigmund Freud presented the psychodynamic theory, which states that our choices, preferences, and behaviors are heavily influenced by our unconscious mind, which itself is shaped by early childhood experiences. John B. Watson and B.F. Skinner also presented the behavioral theory, stating that our preferences and choices are the result of conditioning and learned from our environment, meaning that who we are is shaped by interactions within our environment and by positive and negative reinforcement. And in the realm of philosophy, you have people like Baruch Spinoza, who spoke to the concept of determinism. He argued that everything in nature, including human behavior, follows necessary order and is determined by prior causes, both internal and external, going so far as saying that human beings, like everything else in nature, are subject to casual laws. He believed that what we perceive as free will was an illusion, and that our desires, thoughts, and actions are all determined by our nature and external influences. And truthfully, the list of theories and philosophies that aim to pinpoint the root of our decisions and preferences goes on and on. The reality is that both psychologists and philosophers alike have all put their own spin on what drives our preferences and choices. And to be honest, I'm not sure we'll ever agree on what that mechanism is. But the common concept between all of them is that choice and preference are rooted in something deep within ourselves and our experiences, rather than some conscious decision we make at every single moment. whether that is our brain's chemical composition, reinforced behaviors, or the culmination of our childhood experiences, or some theory altogether different. Whether you prescribe to one of these ideas or another altogether, this tells us that we can use this information to reverse engineer our preferences and choices to understand what combination of experiences and memories led you to resonate with the colors that you do. Perhaps you were presented with 3 different commander decks to start your journey off with. Ask yourself why it was you chose the one you did. Was it the art on the box, the promise of a style of play, or the thematic underpinnings of the color within that drew you to it? For most of us, it's a mixture of these things, but that choice was made up before we even made the conscious decision to pick up that deck and bring it to the register of our LGS. This is an example of the preferences baked into your personality. It's why we seek out similar themes across all of those things we enjoy. So then, what does your favorite color say about you? Well, a lot really. It is you, at least a part of you. What that part is depends on each individual person. So ask yourself this: what is it about your preferred colors and decks you play? What drew you to them? I venture to guess if you dig deep enough, you'll learn more about who you are. Simply put, take that choice and work backwards until you've found the root of this aspect within your personality. Could it be that as a child you were always told to mind yourself, to keep quiet and be still? So as an adult, you have rebelled against such notions and are drawn to the expression found in red. Is it that your first game of Magic just happened to be with a black deck, and you won, reinforcing it as a comfortable color for you to play? Or could it be that you have an analytical mind, and so it favors the strategy found in blue? All of these factors and more dictate choice, but at a deeper level are an expression of who we are. So what does your favorite color say about you? Well, a lot. It's a showcase in how each one of us can come to the same or different conclusions for reasons that vary based on our experiences that led us to that moment. It's an act of revealing the unconscious mind behind the veil of our conscious one. The complexity that makes us human is apparent even in the most mundane of things, as the hobbies we choose and the way we express ourselves within it. Or perhaps it's just not that deep. That, my friends, is up to you. Thanks for watching, and be sure to leave a comment on this video letting everyone know what your color or colors you like to play are, and what that could possibly say about you. With that, friends, I will catch you in the multiverse. Bye.